Hello, everybody. You've not heard already, my name is Craig Wiggins. I think we've got everybody on that we're going to have for right now. We're 2 minutes after the hour, and this is the xAPI Community of Practice and Profiles Group monthly meeting. Shortly along will be my colleague Jason Haig, but we should probably just jump directly in. While we're waiting for a few other people to get set up, let's go ahead and do some housekeeping. First item is if you've not done so already, if you've kind of wandered in here, which is entirely possible, you should definitely check out our xAPI Community of Practice and Profiles Google group. It's where a good amount of the communication from ADL to the COPs goes, and it's where many of the COPs can communicate with each other. Additionally, you should check out the xAPI Community of Practice directory. That's where we list the communities of practice associated with xAPI that have contacted us or that we work with. That would include, well, some of the ones we'll be talking about today. Additionally, please take a look at the xAPI specification Google group, where a lot of the discussion surrounding the actual specification is focused. The xAPI design cohort Google group, I see a couple people in the room right now who are already members of that, so good on you. And the ADL GitHub page, or presence rather, which includes the actual specification, our learning record store, and the xAPI wrapper. So you'll notice in the chat window that I've placed a link. That's a link to this to the deck that we're looking at right now. So all of these links are available there. All right, let's jump directly into this thing. Looking to see if there's anybody from the augmented reality group here, and I don't believe there is so far. So we're going to jump on. I can say that membership has, or at least the contact for that group has gone from being with Christine Perret to Japhis Doswell of Juxtopia. Juxtopia is a firm located in Baltimore, Maryland, so not far from where I'm sitting right now. And they have kind of taken over the xAPI augmented reality experiment, or set of experiments. Just, I guess, coincidentally, James is also the contact point for the xAPI AR group that's working with the xAPI, the current xAPI design cohort. So I don't think, like I said, I don't think anybody's here. So let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Badges. Let's see. We're looking for the anybody here who's representing the badges group. Is that right? Is there anybody? No, I don't believe there is. That group is currently being headed by Ben Betts of HT2. They have, if you'll notice at the bottom of the page they have here, they have a presence on GitHub. It's essentially a running discussion of basically what they're working on right now. So I recommend that if you're interested in this particular community of practice, go and check that out. They've got a fair amount of discussion up there in case you're interested. All right, Chinese language and culture. I think Jessie's actually here, so I'm going to unmute her. Hey, Jessie, how are you?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
All right. So in past few months, we've got some support from government department. Now we are putting our effort in the design cohort. So in this design cohort team, we have some vendors that are interested in xAPI, and we try to demo a case of integrated learning and reporting across systems. So we will have video, ebook assessments, or even badges that involve in this prototype. So, like for example, I asked from EBook COP that we should have a naming rule for the activity ID for EBook. Yeah, so I will require some help from other COP, and because we need to have those rules and profile design to tell reporting how to report. So all in all, I think our COP will be more user solution oriented.
Yeah, that's the impression that you gave.
Yeah, that's my update.
Okay. All right, thanks, Jessie. And I'll go ahead and just kind of further what you said. If anyone is interested in kind of collaborating with the Chinese language and culture community of practice, Jessie's contact information is on the page right now. And be sure to visit the Facebook page, although I believe, Jessie, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the Facebook page is also, very fittingly in Chinese.
Yes. Some of the conversation is in English.
Okay, that would be helpful. I'm going to stop by.
You're welcome to. You can come visit us.
Okay, I'll do that. Thanks, Jessie.
Uh-huh.
All right, let's see. And again, Jessie's contact information is there. Actually, to tell you the truth, Jessie's contact information is everywhere. Again, if you're looking to get her information or the information for anybody else that's associated with the deck here, the link to the deck is in the chat window right now, so you should be able to click that and get to it. All right, let's move on to the courses group. That would be the Experience API SCORM Profile, and actually, I think Jono Poltrack is on right now, so I'm going to let him give me an update if he's got one.
Yeah, thanks, Craig. Just maybe one or two brief things. I think from the last time we met, we had some external comments from folks in the community that they submitted a few, actually several, maybe 20, 25 issues to our profile document, and we've actually got those all resolved and pushed out to GitHub. So check out the COP directory if you haven't seen it. That's up to date. And right along with that, actually right now, I'm also working on, we have a wrapper that does automatic conversion of legacy SCORM courses to this profile, so that with some pretty minimal effort, you can get things updated. And now that wrapper is pretty much updated based on the changes in the latest profile. So it's just a code library that you can use to help you along the way. It works with SCORM 2004 now. Hopefully by the end of the day today or tomorrow, it'll work with SCORM version 1.2 also.
Oh wow, that's really soon. I was just about to ask about 1.2, and I was thinking it might be a week or two away.
I'd have, if I didn't have just another fire drill earlier today, I'd already have it done, but we'll be there soon.
All right. All right, cool. Actually, I want to go ahead. By the way, Jono, thank you very much for the update. I want to go ahead and throw into the chat window as well a YouTube video link. Last week at the xAPI design cohort meeting, Tom Creighton stopped by to talk to that group about the xAPI SCORM profile. So the video link in the chat window links to that video. And I think in the notes for that video, I also have the link to the profile itself. So if you're interested in a longer explanation, go ahead and check that out. But either way, check out the profile. Again, I think as Jono said, that document is open. It's still a draft document, so it's open for comments. And but it's also really interesting to read, just in the sense that is among all of the community of practice that we have going now, it is the one that's produced a profile that's actually out and available. So it's a good example for what many COPs can aspire to do. So thanks again, Jono. All right, ebooks. Let's see, is there anyone here? Oh, Avron is here. Let me go ahead and unmute him. Hey, Avron, how you doing?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you fine.
So Jessie probably just gave a better report than I could give about what we're doing in the EBook project, but a lot of the component technologies have been identified, and of course the objectives of doing data round tripping have been laid out. We're going to need some programming help to tie things together, but I think John has a good plan.
Well, good, good. Yeah, as far as I understand, I've been trying to keep up with this particular COP. I know that Tyler Mulligan, ADL's Tyler Mulligan, has been checking in from time to time as well. And if they need, if anyone has, I'll go ahead and kind of springboard off of what you just said, Avron. If anyone's got any extra cycles that they have available where they can kind of help out, this is a pretty interesting community of practice, in my opinion, and will have some pretty far-reaching effects once things become widely adopted. So thanks for the update.
I agree. I think that John's goal of basically showing what an e-book could be if you really took advantage of the computing power of the tablet,
right,
it's going to open people's eyes eventually.
Cool. Well, thanks. Let's see. Where's my next one? Healthcare education, Medvignette. So I spoke with Valerie Smothers, who is the point of contact for that group. One, if you're not familiar with Medvignette, they are a medical standards organization. They are known, among other things, for their competency frameworks. And they started what I think, as far as ADL is concerned, is the first, if not one of the first, or I'm sorry, one of the first, if not the first, communities of practice around xAPI. So they're focused on medical or healthcare education. They have monthly meetings. I'd recommend that you contact Valerie Smothers, and her contact information is in this deck here for more information about where to go to go to the particular online presence, or what to do if you want to attend one of those meetings. I would say that in some ways that meeting is very instructive, because there's a lot of minute information that is gone over each time, and they're trying to refine their use cases. It looks like Jono has some information about that meeting. I think Jono attended that last one. Can you tell us some more about that?
Sure, Craig. I guess this is just another brief update. So we've been taking a look at the use cases that were worked on in that group, and there's two distinct parts. I mean, not really if you read the documentation, but the way I see it in my mind. One is they're looking at reporting out consistent data from simulations, and that's things like that you completed it, how long it took, really general stuff that's broadly applicable. And then they're looking at very specific simulator data that's down in the weeds, medical information that you probably don't share because it's not broadly applicable with other domains. However, what we are working on, ADL, we've taken a look at their use cases, and we've done, at least in our minds, not on paper yet, quick gap analysis to see if they could indeed use the SCORM profile. Not to do SCORM stuff, not to create SCORM courses, but to speak in the Experience API SCORM language out of consistency for those very broad stroke things. And it does look like 95 to 99% of their stuff is supported.
Okay.
So we're going to try to work with them so that they use our profile also on those things.
Oh, excellent, excellent. There's an xAPI design cohort group working on simulations and been looking at medical simulations that probably should contact Valerie or you to kind of get an update. They've come up with their own vocabulary in reference to medical simulations. So it might be interesting to, at least, rather they have a draft version, so it might be interesting to kind of, for them to take a look at what's been done, or for you guys to take a look at what they're doing to kind of give them some feedback.
Yeah, great.
All right, I need to make a note to do that. Well, since I'm recording this, that is my note to myself. Thanks again, Jono. All right, let's see. Speaking of simulations, that brings us to our simulation group. And I don't know if anybody from the simulation group is here. I know that it's Anthony Altieri, who's not here right now, and Shelley Blake Plock, who is also not here. I know there are a couple people here. Patrick, you're not in that group too, are you? I don't think you're in that group. I know you're in the video group. We'll get to them in a moment. But
yeah, I'm in the video group, and then the translation group with Adity. So I'm not in that group now.
Oh, okay. All right. Then we'll come back to you in a minute to get an update on that. All right, let's see. Let's see. I don't know if there's any updates for this particular group. I've spoken to both Anthony and Shelley lately, but not about this particular group. What I'm going to do is do a recap, post the information from the meeting that we have right now, put it in the Google group either today or tomorrow, and I will try and get an update on that particular group's activities by then. So we're going to move on to the social, it's not simulations, it should say social media group. I'm going to go ahead and unmute Patrick again, since he's part of that group as well. Patrick, you're everywhere these days.
Oh, maybe I'm not the best person to update on this group because I haven't been to too many of the meetings yet, but I think the last thing was that we were just creating a document with all the different verbs and then maybe the translated verbs that'll be on top of that.
Okay.
And then just use that list to start creating some kind of framework around it as to what will translate into what. One of the use cases that we discussed was that this would be particularly valuable when you're doing some kind of reporting, and particularly around, I know there was a big discussion about unmutable records, and so if your records are truly unmutable, then you'll need some kind of translation if your record somehow, if your verb somehow changed in the middle of collecting data in a particular course. And so I think that'll be a really valuable use case right there.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think that's as far as we've gotten.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to actually keep you on, Patrick, because we're going to roll right into video, and I know that you've been involved with that recently.
Yeah, so there we're creating I guess a mock-up of, and just kind of spitballing some ideas as to what an interface would look like that would collect video API calls. And so what we're envisioning at this point is the video would be embedded kind of at the top of this page. At the bottom you'll have some additional an additional page that kind of can catch the calls as well as interact with the video itself. As part of that, we were envisioning some kind of commenting system where someone could potentially say, you know, at the third minute in, I found this really valuable, and it would also capture events like showing the xAPI statement of someone who bookmarked the video at a particular point. And it may be, and what we were envisioning was that there may be areas of the video that people would bookmark more than others, and it would just kind of validate that, all right, you know, at 3 minutes in, that's where the good stuff is and people find the most amount of value in it. As part of that, kind of as an extension of that, is we were thinking, well, which comments are going to be most valuable, maybe some type of upvote, downvote type of thing, but we're still early on. Like I said, we're just creating kind of a mock-up at this point.
Well, I was Patrick. I was in that meeting with you and Pankaj and a few other people. I think Adam Cooper and Humera and a few others. And on screen right now, I don't know if you guys are looking at it. On screen is, I guess, the post from the video xAPI Video Community of Practice Google group, where the mock-ups that were, at least part of the some of the mock-ups that were created in that meeting are displayed. So if you want some more information about that, I'd recommend going and checking out the video community practice. In fact, I'll go ahead and do that. I'll do that later.
Yeah, that's one thing I forgot to mention. As part of the comments, we can even do questions, right? And so you can display questions in real time. And what we were thinking was, as the video moved, the questions would appear. And then maybe the video could stop if someone had to answer it, or maybe it would just disappear if they don't answer it. Or something.
Oh, right. You know, in fact, and not to get too deep in the weeds on this particular point, but I know there's a, I think Humera found a video or a series of videos that were, or courses that were done using Articulate, and a long-running video which had questions sort of popping up as as the video played, and you could click them and then go there and answer the questions about the particular situation. I feel like that could be definitely enhanced, in terms of understanding what people's interaction with that video and what they might be able to perceive.
So the difference the difference between that and this would be that these would actually be tracked as xAPI statements, right?
Right.
Where inside of Articulate, it's just kind of a knowledge check, and those aren't really tracked. So I think that's the main difference from where we were sitting. Thank you for putting my drawing on there. It's rather crude, but
No, you know what? Here's the thing, and people should understand this. When we're in the meeting, Patrick just starts actually drawing this thing in the meeting. This wasn't something you threw together after we met. This happened actually during the thing. That was really nice, actually. So I appreciate that, Patrick. And hopefully, when do you guys meet? You guys meet the second? Is it the first or second week of the month?
Yeah, that's right.
All right. Yeah, and there's more information at the link that I have in the chat window right now. Cool. Thanks, Patrick.
Thank you.
Now, let's see. All right, so I think that takes us on to that's the end of the updates right now. I don't think we have any other groups right now that are represented. Raise your hand if you're representing another group and I don't know anything about it, in which case you have the floor. No? Yeah, I didn't think there was anybody here who was not already represented. All right. Well, I'm not going to do. I was hoping that Jason Haig will be here to explain this particular part, but I'll try and do it justice. As you may know from looking at some of the posts in the Google groups, we, especially Jason Haig, have been thinking a lot about xAPI vocabulary and what to do with it. So I know that one of the things that Jason wanted to talk about recently was the upcoming xAPI vocab working group. So kind of as a result of the white paper that he put out recently and some discussions we've had, we're looking to create a working group focused on best practices for developing and publishing vocabulary. So kind of focusing a bit of some of the work that you guys have already been doing. So what we'd like to do in between now and the next meeting is identify any participants, people who might want to be involved in this. Some first steps will be, basically setting up a wiki or website or workspace for us to collaborate, most likely a Slack channel or something like that for asynchronous communication. We're going to create we're going to get together a presentation talking about the principles of linked data, including JSON LD. And then we'll talk about steps for applying linked data approach for xAPI, and then following good URI design principles, practices for searching and discovering existing vocab, RDF data modeling exercises, which may not mean anything to you right now, but will once we get going. Again, and there's much more. I'm not going to take away Jason's thunder right now. If you're interested, please email please email the email address at the bottom. That's xapi-vocabulary@adlnet.gov. Again, if you go to the link that was in the chat window a couple ticks up, you can download the entire presentation, or you can just go to the xAPI Community of Practice Google group. I'm going to post the meeting notes from this meeting along with the video of this meeting, just available for us, and I'll include the relevant links, including this email address. Any questions about that? Anybody have any questions? It's kind of a bit of an announcement we have for this particular meeting. No? All right. Any new business that we've not talked about? I wanted to kind of give everyone an overview of what's going on within the individual communities of practice. Anything that I've missed or anything that anyone wants to bring up in front of the group? All right. Well, guys, thank you very much. This is a pretty short meeting. I will have the meeting notes from groups that were not available currently. I'll try and get that together for all of you either by end of the day today or close of business tomorrow. And let me know, or let us know, if you're interested in participating in the xAPI Vocabulary Working Group. You can contact myself or Jason Haig or any of us at ADL, or just, again, email that address. Thanks again, guys, and I'll talk to you soon.